Hi everyone. Welcome again to another session where I'm going to show off a little bit of Transcendence. I'm George Mormasato, the developer of Transcendence. I'm going to show off some weapons today. This is, of course, the Sapphire, and Sapphire starts out with just a standard recoilless cannon. But I'm going to show off some of my favorite weapons, and these are favorites not just because they're particularly good. Some of them are not, but for various reasons. Some of them I just like because the effects are cool. Some of them I like because they're just fun to shoot. So let's try one of them, and we're going to go in order of power. So we're going to start with the weakest weapons first, and then end with the most powerful. I've got about 15 weapons that I'm going to show. Let's start with the fast fire laser cannon. This is a fun weapon for me just because it just shoots so fast. Let's go find some stuff to shoot. Here's a hapless Centauri Warlord station. Look at that. Now, you still have to figure out how to aim it, but look at that. And of course, it's got a good enough range that, let's see if I can get this guy without even seeing him. I'm gonna get killed. Even with this awesome weapon. Here we go, watch this, there we go. Look at that. The next weapon I want to show is the venerable Rassier Messer Smart Cannon. This is, of course, the weapon that you get as a reward for finishing a couple of the Benedict missions. So this is always available in Eridani. So it's really pretty easy to get. I think everyone's very familiar with this weapon. Let's go find some stuff here to attack. Okay, we'll stick with these guys. The awesome thing about this smart cannon, of course, is it just tracks. So, I mean, look at that, awesome. It's all aspect tracking, so it'll shoot behind me. You have to, if you don't have a targeting ROM, you have to get kind of close to your target, otherwise it won't lock on. But if you have a targeting ROM, you can ask it to lock onto a target, and then it'll, of course, it'll just hit that target. So that's I think pretty cool. The smart cannon. Let's see what these guys can do. This one's a slightly tougher station. The smart cannon actually has a little bit of WMD, not very much, but enough to kind of take out. Look at that. It's we're going to take out this station. This is a curator outpost, and I think it's going to manage it. And I can do it all while weaving and bobbing so that I can avoid getting hit by it. Okay, now we're going to try out the PK-25 Morningstar Cannon. This is a level 4 weapon, also kinetic, and of course it basically is kind of the shotgun of the game. There aren't too many of these kind of shotgun type weapons, but it can be pretty effective. I mean, look at this. Look at that spread of fire, and look at that. It just tears down that station. I mean, of course, that station didn't need WMD. These guys, let's take these guys. It starts to lose a little bit of power at range, obviously, because there's the shots obviously spread out, and so now they're a little bit harder for all of them to hit the target. But up close they're pretty good. They're good against lightly armored ships, so that then you can just a few hits I think will work. They've got, like I said, a little bit of WMD, so they can kill some stations. All in all, it's quite a good weapon. It's a little short ranged, but not that short range. It's actually pretty decent. The next weapon is the Flenser relativistic cannon. This is basically a super powered recoilless weapon that with very, very fast shots. So let's take a look. Check that out. I mean, it can be brutal, especially once you enhance it up to, once you enhance it up to like double damage with a cannon accelerator, plus a couple of kinetic enhancers, it can just do an amazing amount of damage. I gotta refuel. This is I think a really fun weapon. I mean, it shoots as fast as a laser cannon almost, and just punches a big hole. So this is, and it has a long range. You can see that it kind of goes at least 100 light seconds. So it's great for sniping from long distances. This is great. The dual flencer is even better, but that's obviously harder to get, particularly at these levels. But this is another one of my favorite weapons. The next weapon I want to show off is the Makayev Launcher. This weapon I don't often use. I usually prefer the Nami missile launcher because the missiles are just a lot more available. But I just love the rapid fire, kind of twin blasts of this. It's just, I just think, let's try it. Oh, I got a frigate here. Let's go for it. Look at that. Okay, now I'm about to die, but I think not before I kill these guys. Look at that. Pretty awesome, huh? Let's get these guys. Now, the downside, of course, is you will go through dozens of these missiles, and of course, you have to aim correctly, or else you will not. There's another frigate over here. You have to aim correctly, or else you will absolutely not win. There we go. But once you get lined up and get close enough, man, these things will just dominate. I don't think I'll be able to get this guy, but let's just do a flyby here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Now let me show you the Dragonfly missile system. This is a level 6 weapon, and it requires ammo, but it's got essentially merved tracking. So I'll show you. Here we go. Oops. There we go. Look at that. It basically shoots multiple, up to 3 warheads, each of which can target a different ship independently. And it's great for these kind of furballs. Whoops, now I'm in trouble. It's great. It's not going to help if I've got, but it's great for these furballs where I just get, pelted on all sides by lots of gunships. All right, well, the next weapon I want to show off is the XM900 Lucifer. These missiles are used by the Nami missile launcher, and they are thermonuclear area of effect weapons. Let's see if we can get this guy. Let's get this guy. Watch. Couple of hits and... Whoops, not quite. Look at that area of effect. My only problem is some of these guys have missile defense, but let's go after this guy. Here's the fortress. Bam. I love the effect. Here's another one. I think these guys are easily. Okay, and now the next weapon I want to show off is the Hanzo Blaster. This is a super fast particle beam weapon, and let's just try it out. It doesn't have WMD, so it's not necessarily for everything, but for these little kinds of gunships, and maybe even, probably not these capital ships, which I think can kind of, well, even this one seems pretty decent, huh? Now here I definitely have to aim correctly, otherwise these guys are gonna. But you can see that just a few shots from this, if I do hit them, means that they're dead. All right, well, this next weapon is an Aries weapon, one of the ones used by the Deimos destroyer. And I don't usually equip this. These are actually pretty hard to find, and they often do. They have a drawback, but but their power, let's just try them out. Look at that. It does take a while to recharge, but once they do charge up, man, you can just let loose and it'll just take care of it for you. Oops, assuming it doesn't cyber attack me. But don't worry, you'll get your, there we go. There we go. All right, the next weapon I want to show is the Kairu missile. This is the kind of high-end missile of the Makayev Launcher, and this is in Eternity Port. This is a missile from Eternity Port sold by Asian Pacific Directorate, and it's a pretty. Let me see if I can. Let me target something. Oh, I don't have a targeting computer installed. That's okay. Let me just shoot. It's basically. It's not a tracking missile like the S3, or I'm sorry, I take it back. It is a tracking missile like the S3, but it just shoots so many of them, and it's auto-aiming and it's MIRVed, that it can just lay waste to everything. Check this out. I'm taking on an Earth Slaver and the Citadel. Of course, I'm about to run out of missiles. WMD, of course. You have to get somewhat close for it for the targeting to work, but that's no great loss. Almost there. I better not get too close or this thing is gonna blow. There we go. Now I want to show you the S3. The Kairu missile is a level 8 missile, and it has a whole bunch of, it shoots, I don't know, a dozen missiles. So it does actually get each missile is not super powerful. The S3 also shoots a lot, but it's a level 9 weapon. And it just has that much extra power. So let's try it out in here. Now, one thing that's slightly better about this is that it's a little bit of a standoff missile. So really, what you want to do, notice how it's got kind of a carrier missile, and then it kind of breaks off, it MIRVs. So you kind of want to be a little bit away and give it a chance to kind of find its target like that. See, that was a perfect shot. Like the Kairu, they're independently targeted, so you can do a ton of damage to gunships and things like that. But of course, it'll still take out. It's got WMD, so it'll take out stations pretty easy. Although in this case, I'm gonna get killed. But let's just keep shooting. This needs the heavy launcher, the NAMI heavy launcher. Where is it? No target. It can't find the target, and so that's why it does that kind of star pattern. I'm about to die. And I'm about to run out of fuel, but I'm just going to keep doing it until I do. Well, at least I blew away the... Look at that. There we go. All right, now I'm going to show another Aries weapon. This is the Aries Warhammer Nuke. There's a couple of different nukes that the Aries launcher can fire. One is the micro nuke, which the Tundras can fire. This is the weapon that the Comet Falls fire, and it's pretty nasty. Let's try it out. Let's try it out here. Oh, I missed. There we go. There we go. Whoops. Now this of course is a Dwarg behemoth, and notice that this has an area of effect, and it effectively has kind of like pass through. So it, oh, sorry, I'm completely missing here. It effectively has pass through so that it ends up doing a lot more damage, particularly to large targets. So let's fire on these Ventari cruisers here, and let's see what we can do. You can see how, whoops, I'm probably in the wrong place for this, but you can see how, yeah, you can see how once you get them in the center, they can really just do a ton of damage. You can see all those. I have to get it really close. There we go. There we go. Like that. The next weapon I want to show is an alien weapon. This is the Ayachrome Fracture Cannon. This cannon you get from Ayachrome Sentinels, and you pretty much only get it at the end game. Although I think you can sometimes find them at Terrakin stations. Although I'm not quite sure. These are not super practical weapons. They're very short range, as you can see, but I just happen to like. I just think they're beautiful to look at. They just have a really wonderful glow. Some people are actually really fond of the previous effect that I had for the fracture cannon, which kind of had these jets instead of these kind of balls of plasma. I wish I could do, and I think I probably will try to come up with a blend of the two effects. I'd love to have jets again, but you know, I really love the glowing look of this effect. So I'll try to do something where we can kind of get the best of both worlds. As a weapon, this is a plasma weapon, which again is pretty rare. There's not a lot of plasma weapons in the game. Plasma is not quite as powerful as antimatter, but it's way more powerful than thermonuclear. So this is a pretty useful damage type. For example, luminous sentinels don't ever become immune to plasma the way they do to thermonuclear and ion and other, you know, particle and blast damage types. They'll never become immune to this damage type. So you can always just get them with it. So this is another fun weapon, not super practical and not really easy to get, but lots of fun. Now I want to show off the pinnacle of Commonwealth weapons. This is the Lamplighter R Cannon. There's a whole mission arc that you're required to do to get this, and it's in my opinion worth it. You kind of do have to let the CSE Antarctica die, but the weapon itself is pretty awesome. It's an antimatter weapon. It fires really fast. It's not auto aiming or anything, but you know, with just a good amount of control, you can really just go to town. Let's take on this hunter killer over here if we can. Hunter killers, of course, are like one of the banes of the game world. They are nasty powerful, hard to kill, and just have really powerful weapons. But the Lamplighter R Cannon, again, it just has an immense amount of damage, and you can really just, I gotta get this lone little, there we go. Has an immense amount of damage, and I think if I could aim it properly, the way normal players could do it, you could really do an awful lot with this. The Lamplighter doesn't require ammo. Obviously you need a pretty beefy reactor. You need a Hyperion reactor for sure. It's got WMD, so I mean it's pretty much one-stop shopping for your high-level destruction. Well, the last weapon I want to show is the Aries Plasma R Cannon. This is, I don't know if it's the most powerful weapon in the game. I still think the Lamplighter might be more powerful, but it's pretty awesome. This is what the Aries Dreadnoughts have, obviously, and it just does an immense amount of damage per shot. The only downside, of course, is that it has number one, it takes 2 slots. Number 2, it takes a long time to recharge, so you can't shoot it too often. So if you miss, it's just not gonna go well for you. This is great against bases. Obviously, the Aries developed it to use it against carriers, against the CSCs. The player almost, it's pretty rare, I think, for the player to try to use this. I think it's just too hard to aim and too cumbersome, but you just can't deny the raw power of it. It's, I mean, nothing gets in the way. It's kind of the equivalent of the Death Star super laser in a small, and fit for a gunship. So I think it's kind of cool. I still think if I had a choice, I would always take the Lamplighter, but it's a lot of fun to shoot this thing off. It's kind of it's got the nice little plasma effects, and it just almost always wins the argument. So that's it for my kind of tour of all my favorite weapons. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know by posting comments, or send me some email if you have comments about any of the weapons, or if you got your own strategies. I'd love to hear it. If you want to do your own videos, let me know, and then I can link to it. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye.